People in Niger awoke to a divided country after mutinous soldiers claimed to have ousted the president. The soldiers say they had seized control because of the deteriorating security and bad economic and social governance.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you watch me from. This is not PP Elliot. Today we're talking about the Niger Republic, where coup take place. They overthrew the government, the president Mohamed Bazoum recently. As we know, Niger Republic, Niger, they get their independence the same year with us, 1960, from the French colonies. We don't ask ourselves, what did happen? Why be say now only Africa here, mostly West Africa, mostly. Now we they get the issue of coup, military taking over, and this and that. Then Nigeria will go advance again. Military coup, democratic coup. Why is it that now they West Africa and Africa right now they happen? Not go happen for America, not go happen for the French countries, not for France, like France, UK, all those areas. Now they Africa here. Only South Africa now we know see that kind of thing. Before it go happen, go take time. Why? Because the structure, the white guys before they left that place, they put structures in place. How come now they we? The reason why they fear now, we don't need military coup, we don't need military regime in this country again. If we go back to that military regime, that means we are tracing ourselves back to the old stone age. But with the way the country they go, so if the judiciary not behave themselves, make we not surprised. See, such a thing will happen. That is why I want to put this video. Make we watch. See how the citizens of a country where military take over, they jubilate, they happy, and they even say they don't want France to interfere. The Nigeria should not interfere. Western world should not interfere. That they are okay. That this their so-called president, what do they call democracy? Now means for the Western world to the looters. They have their presidents representing them as their puppet, as their ping pong, where they use to loot the African nations. That they prefer to go, they prefer make military rule them. We could not pray for that one for this country, because my brother, it not go away at all. Let's listen to one brother first. They will come back. Then you will see how the people they jubilate. Before they jubilate, that means the government is a mess. The president Mohamed Bazoum don't do fuck up for that country seriously. That makes the citizens they happy. Make we be careful. This judiciary, please, I beg you, Nigerians they beg you, make we not go to this level. Do our work. Stand by first. Let's listen to this man. Where this man for the come? Here for the come, I don't know. Where they support military coup all over Africa. I don't understand who this man be.
Some people are saying we're taking Africa from the west and giving it to the east. You know, what we call a good relationship between Africa and the east is when the east can stay in east. Africans has to stay in Africa. What brings us together with Russia is for us to have our weapons. We will use the nuclear weapons from Russia to cover up ourselves while we are producing our own nuclear weapons. Independence in Africa is when we are able to defend and protect our land. When we are able to produce our own food, our own medication, utilize our resources to benefit our people. The resources that we have in Africa, we don't need investors. I don't want to see the Chinese coming here and having their companies, or the Russians coming here having the companies. I want to see us Africans having our own companies. Those companies must belong to us. who want to do business with us, we will exchange in a form of exchange, in a form of barter trade on what we don't have here in Africa. Then somehow we may exchange, but we have got everything in Africa. So we need to put up our own manufacturing industries and refine our plants of our own oil and build our own machinery, our own equipment, develop our own technology without the West or without the Russians. Surprisingly, I've heard Tinubu, the president of Nigeria, saying as ECOWAS, we are going to bite back those coups. Not this time, my friends. Not this time. As we have taken Niger, we are going to take Cameroon. We are going to take Togo. Not this time. Don't ever try. We are not going to submit ourselves to imperialism anymore. Not again. This has happened and continued because our leaders are compromised. How can Tinubu say we are going to fight the so-called coup leaders whom are protecting the African resources, whom are kicking out the colonizer, whom are removing the colonizer's language from being an official language in Africa? And an African leader says we are going to fight back on that for the liberation of Africa. You go again. There are some good news from home. I've spoken about the Western puppets that are in Africa. I've also told the Western puppets that your days are numbered. We are going to support the coups, the military coups. If you can see today, Mali is in good hands. Burkina Faso is in good hands. Guinea is in good hands under military leadership. If I'm not forget, Chad is in good hands with young leaders in military uniform. We are going to do those coups because these Western puppets are not going anywhere with the so-called votes. Only if we do the coups. How can an African leader be a friend of Russia and be a friend of the West at the same time? Why can't African leaders think for themselves and be men enough and have a spine and say no to the West, say no to the Americans? I've mentioned that Mohamed Bazoum of Niger, I've said he's a puppet. And there's a coup there. There is a coup there in Niger. We are also sending this message now. We are sending this message to Gambia. Adama Barrow, we are coming there. Akufo-Addo, we are coming there. Tinubu, we are coming there in our military uniform. We've realized that these votes are only orchestrated and the so-called democracy orchestrated by the West to ensure that they keep their puppets in power in Africa and extract our resource, oppress our people with the so-called Western laws and their genetically modified foods and the international laws being brought to Africa.
Unayera the guy. Unayera, we get independence, but it's black say we never get independence. How many years, if you want to become apprentice for any place, any trade, you want to learn any trade, how many years take your apprenticeship? Well, you know the body graduates. You know they get freedom. So, you see this, what it happens though? If you don't give the people freedom, they go take them by force. The game go push past the rich. If you reach wall, you not give him pass again. He has to turn back, face you. Or die, not die. We need to stop all this oppression where they happen. Not if they happen. Don't worry. Not like they have no say. Now lie you. I advise this country. I advise the judiciary. I advise the parties where they want to oppress. Make you know that this country degenerate to this level. The least among the problems we will need for this country, now be military coup. We don't need that. But the democracy, it favor the West, it favor the Americans. But why not they favor us? Because our leaders, they just become, they be ping pong for the Western world. And what did they see? The Western world, the Americans them too, they don't want to make we get better leader who will get structure, so that through those weak ends, those weaknesses them as presidents, they loot us. That is why they never finish election for Nigeria. They never even election get problem. Result never even complete. Biden of US don't send congratulatory message to Tinubu because they don't want better for this country. They don't want better for Africa. Now they give birth to all this coup what they happen so. So my brothers, when I see how what did this man talk, it's high time we they independent of these people. They get only one head like us. I don't see what it will make us. If not be these greedy, selfish leaders where we say they want better alone and make they get this, that make the white, the Western world feel they deal with us like this, they loot us. Enough is enough. Oh. See this clip where we say people go they happy, say they say military coup. And the headquarters of the ruling party, they burn them down. Then they say Tinubu, they say they will never, the ECOWAS will allow that to happen. That the citizens should reject it. Which citizens will reject it? The Nigerians, where they are happy, where they burn, they are happy, they would pursue the politicians, they burn everywhere, they are happy, say army come. Okay, make it send Asari, go there. Those people don't be like us. Now beg at the beg. Everybody's country. Please put hands together to make this country great. Make we not go to military reign. Thank you again. This is PP Elliot. To meet again. Bye.